Welcome back to the Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Always delighted to have on Brian Spitz. He's a brilliant strategist when it comes to helping people understand real estate investment. He takes people who, otherwise are really kind of stuck with their golden handcuffs, and they're stuck with their job, and they really don't have much capacity of generating wealth on their own, and passive wealth, which is the funnest wealth to generate. And he takes those individuals and makes them into very successful passive investors, and at a level of passivity that, frankly, other real estate investors aren't able to often achieve because of his seamless system. Phenomenal what he does over at BigStateHomeBuyers.com. And if you're actually in the process of wanting to be an investor, you need to go check out that page. Click the investors button. I'm there all the time checking out possible deals. Always impressed by what he's got happening there. And this past week, this being Monday, so it was last week, he had some pretty exciting news for us. Brian, first of all, welcome. And second of all, talk about your achievement from one of the toughest organizations to get that kind of recognition from. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, it's really exciting news. Big State Homebuyers won their Better Business Bureau Achievement for Excellence Award. It's the second year in a row we've won one of the top two awards that they give out. You know, we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we protect that reputation a lot. It's been really valuable to our business, but it's really exciting to win that level of distinction 2 years in a row.
Yep, absolutely. And what goes into the decision making to win that?
Well, there's an application process for members who have there's application process for members of the Better Business Bureau, and it's a fairly lengthy application for examples of how you run your business and some client testimonials and what your innovation strategies are. And we prepare that. It's a pretty lengthy process. And then the Better Business Bureau has it judged by the Silver Fox Advisory Group. So at least 2 to 3 people read through the various applications in your category and score it, and then they recommend the people that should win the award. So they have a ton of applicants for the awards. And the luncheon this year, I think they had 965 people in attendance. So, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I encourage people to learn more about the award by checking out BigStateHomeBuyers.com. I'm sure people can find it there on the homepage.
Yes.
People need to check that out. Okay, let's talk about a topic that we alluded to a little bit last week when you had an attorney on here. One that's kind of near and dear to me. While I was in college, I mentioned that I was a title examiner, so I paid my way through school. And so I know firsthand, man, oh man. I mean, I was the last check. I was the last check. Just before they closed the deal, I would go in the day that deal was supposed to be closed, or the day before, where they would usually pay in the morning. They would get the transaction done in the morning. I'd go in the day before to do that final check. And so that means usually someone else had done it before me. And I would still check deals with $100,000 there or $50,000 there, or sometimes it's $2,000 or $3,000. But who wants a $2,000 or $3,000 lien to deal with when you thought you bought a property that had $4,000 in equity in it? Well, guess what? Here's $3 of your grand.
Right. Well, title insurance, and I find not everybody knows what that is, but when you close a property, it's really important that you do it at a third-party title agency, and title insurance ensures that when you buy the property, there are no previous liens, there are no previous taxes due, there are no previous heirs that have a right to claim to the property, and that if anything were to come up in the future, that insurance policy is what guarantees that the title is clear and that you can resell the property. So you're basically, and it's usually the seller that pays for it, although at Big State we often will cover that expense, but it just ensures that there's a clean transaction and that nobody in the past and nobody in the future, any claims can come up that are out of the blue. And you'd be surprised, a lot of our sellers come to us because they do have, someone's passed away and there's siblings, or there's no will, or the house has been sitting there for a while and they need somebody to clear up, the chain of title to get it in their name, or people have federal tax liens. So we work with the IRS to get releases so that people can sell their properties. And we just, over the time, we've developed a lot of knowledge of the various laws and the ins and outs of how to get a title clear and clear to close.
Yeah, who knows what kind of things Grandma did with her house, and Granddad did with the house for the last 40 years. And so the only way you're going to know is unless you're taking really good care of that kind of stuff. Is it fairly, the vast majority of cases, I'm sure, include title insurance. Isn't that the case?
Oh, every deal we close includes title insurance.
But I'm talking about on the market in general.
Yes, if you go on the open market, those properties and realtors, they'll make sure that it closes at a title company. And a lot of realtors, agents don't know how or don't want to deal with these kind of title problems that we'll deal with because they don't have experience, and it takes finding the right title company that knows how to clear this stuff as well. And so at Big State, we have an in-house person that's trained to help gather documents, and we come up with the ideas of what it's going to take. We work with the title agency and we work with a real estate attorney so that we can pretty much clear anything that's clearable. There's very very few times where a title is just there's just no fixing it.
By the way, the easiest way to see this article is probably about the Big State win with the BBB, which is awesome, is at priceofbusiness.com because It's not on the homepage yet over at Big State Home Buyers, but it is on the homepage right now at priceofbusiness.com.
Oh, great.
So check that out there, and obviously you can get links straight over to the website, which we always want you to check out, Big State Home Buyers. I am there all the time. I'm figuring out the next investment I want to look at. Very cool stuff. Back on the whole title situation. This is why a lot of regular realtors, if they're honest and ethical, won't even get into foreclosure situations because there is a lot of dicey things often going on with the title because a lot of times that homeowner did all kinds of things he could, to keep that home, so he may have allowed liens coming on it left and right to get different things done for that home or get things financially money pumped in or whatever. And so, and then B, who knows what kind of tax situations are involved, IRS, Social Security even, all kinds of bizarre stuff, unemployment, student loans, all kinds of things can happen. And so foreclosures are instantly dicey, aren't they?
Right. And so, especially if you go to the foreclosure auction as an investor and buy property, you're buying the house, but you're not guaranteed that there's clear title. So you're not getting a title policy. And so from an investor standpoint, it's a great service that we offer. And that's one of the things that we put in our Better Business Bureau application for the award is that we will not close on a property, unless there's title insurance, and we won't let one of our clients buy a property. And sometimes that means that there's been a lot of work and there's no money. For us, we don't get paid till the property's closed, but we will not let somebody sell us a house without title insurance, and we won't let someone buy one from us. And from a seller's perspective, it's a really great service because not everybody knows how to fix this stuff or is willing to take the time to do it. And it's really it's part of our business, but it's really a service aspect too, because we'll spend the time it takes to get someone from start to finish, and a lot of times it's more work than is worth it to us at times theoretically, but we have the experience and we like offering the service, so it's something that we really enjoy doing. Sometimes It's like a puzzle.
Yep, and it's one of those things you better have before you get the house, or you won't be able to get rid of the house.
No, absolutely. That's the biggest reason we aren't able to clear title is when someone bought the house without getting a title policy. So It just kind of the problem just follows over the course of time.
Yeah, and it's not like way out there. It's like the next transaction you try to do with that house.
Right, and if you try to sell the property to a homeowner, a mortgage company is going to require title insurance. So you can get stuck with a house that is just virtually, you might have the deed, but you don't have title, and so it's virtually worthless.
Yeah. There's got to be ways of mitigating it, but I'm sure those ways aren't cheap nor quick.
No, that's, going to court, getting judges, involved, getting attorneys. That's for the most serious of situations. Yeah. But we help avoid all of that expense. So, with our experience, we come up with solutions for sellers to get their houses closed without them having to go to lawyers and go to court.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Be penny wise, and do not be penny wise and dollar foolish. Make sure you do all you need to do on the front end so that great deal remains a great deal.
Right, absolutely.
Brian Spitz, he's brilliant. We love having him on here. He does a fantastic job of keeping my audience involved and informed when it comes to these type of deals. BigStateHomeBuyers.com, BigStateHomeBuyers.com. Check him out. Make sure you check that investment page. We love having him come through, and I always love hearing great stories about it. And I hear a lot of stories about real estate investment. Unfortunately, not all of them are like what I hear when it comes to Big State Home Buyers. It's one of those deals that seems to be operating in extremes. Everyone's either really good or really shabby.
Right.
There's not a whole lot in between. And this guy is really, really good, and we're delighted that he brings his advice and counsel to us every week on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, much, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at USDailyReview.com, which is undergoing a major, major image change. You're going to love the new USDailyReview.com coming soon, so keep an eye on it. I'm Kevin Price. This is The Price of Business.